Okay, please sign in.
Five members present.
Okay, Ryan, have there been any changes to the agenda?
No changes, Your Honor.
Okay, can I get a motion on the agenda?
Second.
Okay, please vote.
Renee, we need your vote.
Oh, I gotta press harder.
5 yes.
Okay, item 2, Citizens Forum. Now is the time for anybody in the audience who would like to address the City Council on any items that are not part of public hearings or new business. If you could, please step up to the podium and give us your name and address. And then I would ask that you would keep your remarks to 5 minutes. I would also make one more request of anybody that wants to address the City Council on any item, and that is that we need to keep it civil in here. I want to make sure we keep decorum and treat everybody with dignity and respect. Anybody that fails to do that, I will gavel you out of order and ask you once again to please keep it civil. As long as we are treating each other with dignity and respect, everything will be fine. So with that, Amy, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My name is Amy Buer. My address is 8415 Mill Civic Parkway, West Des Moines, across the street from the brand-new Salmon Financial 6-story tall glass building. I also would just like to, I have no questions for you. So I would just please like to show some evidence here and then not have anybody speak and interrupt me. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. First of all, I would just like to mention that I have a total loss of enjoyment of my property, Chapter 657.2, and this is a violation warning notice that denial of rights under the color of law, 18 U.S.C. 242, 18 U.S.C. 245. This is a legal notice and warning. Federal law provides that it's a crime to violate the rights of a citizen under the color of law. And I have the freedom of speech, press, assembly, and to petition. Okay, the last time I was here, this lady by the name of Kathy Beck, since we spoke on the telephone for an hour and 45 minutes, she told me that she has a lung removed due to some things that are around her house. Do I have to show you that I'm affected by that building across the street? Do I have to lose a lung in order for you to understand? This is the building at night. Constant humming noise all the time. It's either the air conditioner or the heater. This is me. I used to be able to keep my curtains open. Okay, now they're closed and I have to peek out the window now. Total loss of enjoyment of my property. And yes, you wrote me a letter, city attorney, and you said your email reiterates the many issues you have had over the past 4 years with both City of West Des Moines and private individuals. And those private individuals are Clyde Evans of the Planning and Development Department and Lynn Tweet. Your continuing frustration is apparent. It is clear that you have not been satisfied with the results of your efforts to address the issues. All right. In July, I tried to take the city of West Des Moines to court down at the Southern District Federal Court, but there's a conflict of interest. My case got closed, and one of the things is that they said that I didn't subpoena them. And
Amy, you've got about 1 minute left. Sorry to interrupt.
Today my business is I'm hand delivering service court docs to the city of West Des Moines.
hand delivering court docs to the city of West Des Moines to Lynn Tweet and Clyde Evans, and they denied. And then, guess what? They fired the guy that sits out there at the desk after he helped by letting me serve them the subpoenas. Okay. Now you're going to listen to me talk about how the university says that there's no way to test EMF radiation.
But inside, the heat is on. Yeah.
Is there an attorney here? Because I'm going to need one. Hopefully pro bono, like what Clyde did or the city did instead of using the city attorney.
Amy, I'm sorry to cut you off, but your 5 minutes has expired.
Can I speak afterwards to finish?
If you'd like to stay after for under other matters.
Oh, I
you're
have
welcome
all
to.
kinds of stuff that I still need to finish up, but I can still come back. But I just want to say to these people that attended to the Martin Luther King event, you're violating my rights, and you're all sitting here.
Okay, thank you, Amy. Appreciate you coming in.
Here they are, unmasked at a required mask event.
Amy,
All
your
right,
time's
thank you.
expired. I'm sorry. Okay, is there anybody else for Citizens Forum at this point? Anybody here in the audience? And I'll ask, I don't know if we have anybody online joining us, but I will ask if anybody online would like to address the City Council. Anybody else in the chamber? Okay, is there anybody online that would like to address the City Council on any items that are not part of public hearings or new business? Hit *6 to unmute yourself. Okay, seeing none, I will close Citizens Forum, and we will move on to item 3, Mayor, Council, Manager Report, Other Entities Update, and we will start with Mid-American Energy Company with a presentation of a check for new construction efficiency program for the Mid-American Energy Company Rexplex. Sure, I'd like the council to join me too. Everybody come on up front. So much, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. First of all, mayors, council members, and audience, what I've got before me is a presentation check. You can't take it to a bank. The real check is already been cashed. However, at this point, the check amount is for $200,000. The Mid-American Energy Rexplex, with the city of Des Moines, of course, participated in a commercial new construction energy efficiency program. What that meant is that we met the consultants for the city of West Des Moines, met with their design team and our energy efficiency group to kind of model how can we make this building more energy efficient. And basically, we were able to go through the modeling process. We used computer models, and they're able to save over $96,000 a year on the advancement of building a building that's better than the current energy code. So to that, we say thank you very much, and of course, our citizens will say thank you over time as well. But with that in mind, again, we thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I just want to say on behalf of the West Des Moines City Council and really city staff, thank you so much for your partnership with us on the Mid-American Energy Company RecPlex and for all you're doing for energy efficiency in our city and in our state. So thank you so much.
Get y'all to look this way. One more. All right?
Thank you very much. Thanks, Awesome. Thank you so much. Greg, you're not taking this.
I didn't take it. I want to see your credit card.
Yeah. Get thrown in jail for fraud.
Tom can go shopping now.
Okay, with that, we're going to move on to mayor, city council, city manager reports, and we will start with Councilman Lotz. Do you have any report at this time?
Your Honor, yesterday I was privileged to attend the Martin Luther King celebration for the city. I'm so proud of our city for putting on such a celebration and for all the folks that showed up to it. It was a really great crowd and an honor to be there. Nothing else, Your Honor.
No doubt about that, and I would just chime in to say that I was also there, as were a number of you guys, and it really was a proud day for the city. And our own Renee Hardman, I think at the last minute, with some people being ill and out, took over and emceed the entire program and did just a phenomenal job. And her and Audrey Kennis just were amazing to watch in action. We had Audrey was the keynote speaker, gave an incredible motivational speech, and it was just a wonderful event. Tons of people from the community were out there, and we're just going to work on this to make it bigger and bigger each year. So thank you, Doug, for your comments, and I would just echo what you said, and thank you, Renee and Audrey, for everything you did, and for all the city staff and the chamber and everybody that worked to put this on. It was just a great event. So, Kevin, any report?
Nothing this time.
Okay, Renee?
Yes, thank you. I would like to share that since our last gathering, I've attended a couple of nights of Historic Valley Junction Master Plan Steering Committee meetings on the 5th and the 6th. There is lots still going on there, lots more work still yet to do, but I'm glad to participate in those meetings and at least see what's going on and be engaged in the process. Again, I'd like to also thank everybody for their ability to show up yesterday at the Martin Luther King event. As the honorary chair of this event, this is our 3rd annual, and it gets bigger and better every year. I think most people know we started this 3 years ago from an idea and a seed, and it is germinating and germinating. And I want to thank Tom and his leadership. When this idea was brought to Tom, he was like, go for it. And we found resources that we're able to utilize to make it happen. Now we have partners that are making it all happen. And the partners that participated in this event and the planning committee were the West Des Moines Chamber was a partner in this event, the West Des Moines Human Rights Commission, and also the Downtown Partnership. So we had a collective group of folks that allowed that to be a success. I do want to congratulate folks that won the Martin Luther King Award yesterday. For those that could not make it, I want them to know that Sanjita Prada won the Martin Luther King Individual Award for all of the work that she has done over the many years in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Our very own West Des Moines Chamber won the Organizational Award for the Martin Luther King Award, and Catherine accepted on their behalf. It was a very, very nice affair, very nice speech. She was thrilled, and so was Sanjita. And then our very own Allison Olstead won the committee Martin Luther King Award for really going above and beyond and putting all the final touches to all the work that we did. So Sally, we could not have done it without her. She was phenomenal, a great partner, love having her. And so she won the Martin Luther King Committee Member of the Year Award. So we're very delighted on that. So looking forward to a bigger event next year, as the mayor has said, and can't wait to be a part of the planning of that and celebrate people coming to our city, our place to celebrate a man's legacy.
Thank you so much, Renee. Matt?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I won't rehash everything. I just say it was a great event, great comments, Mayor and Renee and Tom. Thank you for your work on it. Since we last met, we had a MAC meeting. I want to say it was last week, and I know, Mayor, you were on the call, but I want to point out that on that call, there was a request that there be considered a location for testing on the west side of Des Moines. And so we reached out and kind of identified maybe a couple different spots that would work. And within, 3 or 4 days of us being able to do that, Tom, thanks to your work, I think we're going to have a testing site here in West Des Moines for COVID-19 testing, and in partnership with Polk County. And so it was, I think the folks that were, Angela Conley with Polk County Supervisors was pretty surprised by how quickly we worked, and we found a location that's going to work for everybody. So I thought that was
And you deserve credit as well, because Matt came up with the idea and was proactive and took a stance on it and contacted Tom. And so thank you for your leadership on that, too.
I appreciate that. I'm glad we're getting it done. We had a development planning meeting this morning. Councilwoman Hardman and I had it, and some interesting items related to the Valgate district there between 1st and 4th on Grand and Ashworth, but some branding and signage that was discussed there. I think that's something that may come, I don't know if exactly comes before the council when it does, but I think you'll see a very colorful kind of branding campaign that they're looking at for that particular area. And then there was also a conversation about a bank on Mills right next to Red Robin, and it's not anything that I would normally bring up here, but what I did want to bring up was that a gentleman that was there, that was presenting, that does business regularly across the metro, took a moment to make a comment about the appreciation of his work, I should say, the appreciation of the work that the city does, and specifically the work that staff does to help make development and growth and opportunity in West Des Moines easier than other locations across the metro. And he specifically made a point to make that. So I wanted to highlight that here tonight. That's all I have at this time.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Greg?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of things just to add. We had our first Finance Administration Subcommittee meeting this past Wednesday. Councilman Loetz and I and the rest of the finance team. We were privileged to hear from several groups that are applying for some of the hotel motel tax money that we get, because every single night that someone's staying in a hotel in West Des Moines, there's a portion of that tax money that comes back to the city from the hotel stay, and a portion of that we offer. We allow groups in the area to apply for some of that money to help bring exceptional events to West Des Moines. And so we got to hear the pitch, so to speak, of 5 of these groups, and we'll have another 5 tomorrow morning. We'll have another 3 or 4. So I think it's a grand total of 13, and that just means there are more than a dozen groups and organizations who want to bring events to West Des Moines, who want to bring people to West Des Moines, who want to bring overnight stayers to West Des Moines, and thus generating even more hotel, motel tax money, and thus the cycle continues, and the citizens of West Des Moines get to experience more awesome events. So it was a pleasure to hear from the first 5 of those groups. We'll hear from more later on this week. I also was at the MLK event yesterday, and I just wanted to certainly recognize Audrey Hennis. I don't think she's here tonight, I'm looking, but I know she was incredibly instrumental in making this happen, along with Councilwoman Hardman, along with the entire Human Rights Commission, and so many others to make it possible. And one of the highlights for me was seeing 5 Valley High School students and 1 Dowling student receive scholarships for college. And knowing many of those students myself, it certainly was really, really moving to see not only these young people apply for this award, but certainly receive this award and actually get a little bit more scholarship money than they thought they were going to get. So incredibly proud of the young people of West Des Moines who applied for that award. And certainly as we listen to Audrey's message of strength to love, I think in these times when, I don't know, there's so much disdain and there's so much hate, just hop on Twitter or TikTok for a minute, you'll see it. The idea that we should love each other more, I think that's a good one, and I was really appreciative of Audrey's message and grateful for her work and for the entire event that we had yesterday. So That's it, your mayor.
All
Your
right.
mayor.
Yeah,
Your mayor.
I like it.
hey, whatever works, man, whatever works. Appreciate that, Greg, and you know, those scholarships were made possible because of Catherine Harrington and the chamber working and talking with our businesses, and she was able to secure that funding, I believe, and those scholarships were not small amounts either, $1,000, $1,500, so very grateful to our businesses for supporting our students, so that's awesome. Tom, any report?
Yeah, just briefly, I want to, Matt, when he's working with the, getting a test site out here, I'll tell him, when you guys come up with ideas, we always appreciate it. And in this particular case, I want to give credit where credit is due, is Linda Schimmel from Development Services and Craig Loof and Mike Witzel from the Fire Department, making sure we're getting it so it's safe, but we also want to provide it. So we like your ideas most of the time. That's supposed to be a laugh there.
Excellent. That's a good point, Tom.
So
Love it.
thank you.
Excellent.
Okay, anything else, Tom?
No,
Nope.
thank you.
All right, thank you very much, appreciate that. All right, we'll move on to item 4, consent agenda. Are there any items that any council person would like to have pulled?
4K, please.
Okay, 4K. Anything else? Okay.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
5 yes.
Okay, item 4K, settlement agreement with MediaCom. Matt, I believe, has pulled this due to a potential conflict of interest?
That's
right?
correct, thank you.
Okay, is there somebody that would like to move this item?
So moved.
Okay, moves or second?
Second.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, please vote.
4 yes, 1 abstention due to potential conflict of interest.
Okay. And then before we move on, at the Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration yesterday, I had the honor of being able to read the proclamation in honor of that day. So I will not be reading that again today, but I do have another proclamation, and it goes to exactly what Councilman Hudson was talking about with the disdain in the world and everybody at each other's throats. And, you know, we need more kindness out there in our society. And we've got Jordan Booslog from the West Des Moines Leadership Academy and Brandon Bennett from Security National Bank here that I'm going to have come up, and we're all going to go take a picture with them with a signed resolution, a proclamation afterwards. But I'd just like to take a minute to read this. Whereas it is the mission of the city to serve people honestly and effectively and through a variety of services, strive to provide the quality of life desired by the community. And whereas it is the mission of the Chamber to champion all things West Des Moines by strengthening our area companies, providing personalized resources, and attracting a top workforce to position West Des Moines as the best suburb city in America. And whereas it is the vision of the West Des Moines Leadership Academy to positively influence the future of West Des Moines and the greater Des Moines community through strategic leadership, development, and workforce retention. And whereas the West Des Moines Leadership Academy would like to champion this day of kindness for years to come, and whereas putting smiles on faces of those who live, work, and play in West Des Moines should be something we all strive for. And whereas studies show that kindness benefits not only the receiver, but also the giver, whether these are companies or people, companies that value kindness have lower turnover on their teams, lower recruitment costs, and higher productivity. And whereas a random act of kindness is giving your best self to others without requests or promise of return on investment. It's simply doing something nice for someone else without them asking and without you doing it for anything in return. And whereas the city of West Des Moines recognizes the benefits of having a kind and caring community, now, therefore, I, Russ Trimble, Mayor of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, do hereby proclaim January 28th, 2022 as West Des Moines Day of Kindness in the city of West Des Moines and urge all citizens to celebrate West Des Moines Day of Kindness and support efforts to promote a spirit of kindness this day and every day. Signed this 18th day of January 2022. So with that, if you gentlemen would come down and take a picture with me and the council. Everyone's
Go ahead. Okay.
This is awesome. This is amazing.
taking a day off on that day? Is that a day off?
All right, let me get a couple here. One more camera. Yeah, I like taking pictures. I do. There we go. All right. Thanks again for all your work.
Is that a day off?
Doubt it.
Okay.
Okay, with that, we'll move on. Item 5, old business. There is no old business. We'll move on to item 6, public hearings. Pardon me. Okay. Item 6A. This is the time and the place for a public hearing to consider Jordan Creek Tower, 575 and 595 South 60th Street. Adopt the Jordan Creek Tower Area Development Plan, amend the comprehensive plan land use map to designate support commercial land use, and establish a specific plan ordinance regulating the development of a mixed-use building initiated by Dennis R. Albaugh, Revocable Trust, UAD 10/5/2005. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
January 5th, 2022, in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments to this hearing?
The Plan and Zoning Commission, by a vote of 4 yes with 3 absent, adopted a resolution recommending approval of the area development plan, comprehensive plan amendment, and the specific plan ordinance.
Okay, I will now open the public hearing and ask anybody from the audience that would like to address the council on item 6A to step up to the podium, give us your name and address, please.
Amy Buer, 8415 Mill Civic Parkway, West Des Moines. I've always had a question about how do the people, you say that the article is in the Des Moines Register and that if any, and it doesn't have anything to do with this, I just
Yeah.
need the people to know what to do, because it's
Okay.
never explained. You say that you can make a complaint or something about something that they see in the Des Moines Register, or you objected, or whatever you
Yeah,
said?
we follow the state law to make sure that we publish our
How do
public
you do
hearings.
that? How do
We
you-
we contact the Des Moines Register and we actually publish it in that publication to give people notice of the public hearing so that they are able to come here like you have tonight to provide any sort of comments that they have for that item if they are so interested.
So the complaint is to be able to attend the meeting there, because you say
Correct, we're giving notice.
you add something to it, you say something, and I don't ever quite understand that.
Okay.
What is it that you said there at the end? Could you please repeat it?
We have published notice, as we are required to do by law, for a public hearing that we are having tonight in the council chambers, and give people a notice that we're having this public hearing so that if they'd like to come before the council and address the council on this item, whether they're for or against, they're able to do that.
Okay, so they have to come here, there's no other way? Because I know you
No, they
say, so
can-
is there any other written?
Yes, they can also file something through writing as well. Correct.
Okay, now, that's it. Where do you file something in writing?
You would send that to City Hall, and it would be filed with the city clerk's office.
Okay.
And we would know tonight that if we received written communication, then our clerk, Ryan, would have said that we had received written communication and that that is in our packet and made us aware of that.
Okay, so Ryan, you receive the information, you actually file it?
We would file
With
it,
the council packet.
correct, and it'd be filed tonight with the action that we're taking. It'd be part of the
Do you stamp
record.
it or anything like that as a complaint?
Well, a lot of times, I'm not even the one who receives it directly. It would be, a lot of times, the Development Services Department.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Amy.
you.
Anybody else that would like to address the council on item 6A? Okay, and Ryan, do we have people joining that you know?
Yeah, I think we do have a few people on
Okay,
the call.
okay, I will go to anybody that is online joining the meeting that would like to address the council on item 6A. Please remember to hit *6, not #6, but *6 to unmute yourself. Okay, hearing no one, I am going to close the public hearing.
Oh, wait a minute. Do I get to speak again? Is that
Not-
what I say?
Nope, I'm sorry, not on this. We've closed the public hearing on this particular item.
Oh,
So,
sorry. Okay.
Yep, nope, that's okay.
I still want to speak. Thank
Nope, that's fine. Okay, and with that, we have got two resolutions and ordinance for approval of the first reading. We've got to take those separately. So if I could get a motion on the resolutions, please.
Move approval of the resolution.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions?
I'd just say this came before development planning at least once, I think maybe twice. And, staff, similar to my comment earlier, Mayor, during that, we had a very detailed conversation about many items, some of which are contained in this document or within tonight's council packet, and specifically related to parking. And everybody worked together to find a solution. I think we ended up in a good spot. The committee moved it forward, and I'm supporting this tonight.
Great. Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, please vote on the resolutions.
Five yes.
Okay, we've got an ordinance for approval of the first reading. Can I get a motion?
Move consideration of the first
Okay.
reading.
Second. Okay, any comments or questions? Okay, please vote.
Five yes, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019, according to Title IX zoning, Chapter 9, Plan Unit Development District, pertaining to PUD district regulations and guidelines.
Move approval of the first reading.
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions? Okay, please vote.
Five yes.
Okay, that's approved. Moving on to item 6B. This is the time and place for a public hearing to consider amendment number 2 to the Conduit Network License Agreement initiated by Google Fiber, Inc. Ryan, would you please read the date that the notice was published?
January 12th, 2022, in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay. Now is the time for anybody in the audience that would like to address the council on item 6B. Please step to the podium and give us your name and address for the record. Is there anybody in the chambers that would like to address the council on item 6B? Okay, hearing none. Is there anybody online that would like to address the council on 6B? Again, please hit *6 to unmute yourself. Okay, hearing none, I will declare the public hearing closed, and we have got a resolution for approval of amendment number 2 to the agreement.
Move approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, please vote.
Four yes, one abstention due to potential conflict of interest.
Okay, that item is approved. Item 6C, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider Conduit Network License Agreement initiated by MCC Iowa, LCC, doing business as Mediacom. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
January 12th, 2022, in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, again, now is the time for anybody in the audience that would like to address the council on item 6C. Okay, seeing no one, anybody online that would like to address the council, please unmute yourselves, hit *6. Hearing no one, I will declare the public hearing closed, and we've got one resolution for approval of the agreement. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Okay, it's moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, please vote.
Five yes.
Okay, item 6D. This is the time and place for a public hearing to consider Conduit Network License Agreement initiated by MyFiber LLC. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
January 12th, 2022, in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, now is the time. If anybody in the audience would like to address the council on item 6D, please step to the podium, give us your name and address for the record. Seeing nobody in the chamber, I will ask if anybody online would like to address the council on item 6D. Hearing none, I will declare the public hearing closed. And again, we've got a resolution for approval of the agreement. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion is second. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Five yes.
Okay, item 6E. This is the time and place for a public hearing to consider agreement for private development project Ginger East, initiated by Microsoft Corporation, and this is being continued from the January 3rd, 2022 meeting. Ryan, would you please read the date that the notice was published?
December 23rd, 2021, in the Des Moines Register.
Okay, and have we received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, now's the time for anybody in the audience that would like to address the council on item 6E, and I see Amy. Amy, step on up.
Lots of questions.
All right.
Morning.
All right.
Amy Buer, 8415 Mill Civic Parkway, West Des Moines. My question is I have recently started looking at those little classified ads. Is that what it is, a classified? And it doesn't explain anything about what it is. It's just some little tiny, it just says, you know, what it is. And I look at it and I go, what is that? And what does that mean? So where do I go to get the information to be able to know what it is? Because, right, you guys receive a packet and know what it's all about, right?
What is?
Correct. The public
Whatever-
hearing, what
yeah,
the
whatever
item's
we're
about.
talking about right now, whatever the item is, it's just in the classified, it's tiny written.
Yeah.
And then if you don't even get the Des Moines Register, which most people don't because you have to pay for it, you know, so things just get published in the Des Moines Register and nobody really knows what's going on.
So what I would tell you is that we are simply following Iowa law as it is written,
Oh,
and we are not the
okay.
ones that write this law. It comes from our state legislature.
Okay.
So if you've got an issue with that, you may want to take that up with the state legislature.
Okay,
But we are
okay.
following the law as it is written. So,
Okay, so
yes.
what,
It gives a description of what the project.
Dick, hit your mic if you would, too.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
It gives a description, Amy, of what the project will be, and it also allows you to go to the city clerk to investigate and read the entire development agreement or whatever the issue might be. So you do have the right to look
Oh,
into it further. It's more of a
you.
notice than an explanation of everything that's
Okay,
happening.
thank you, thank you. So I got to go see you in order to know what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
And do the council members actually get a packet or
Yeah.
to know what things are about, so you already know?
Yep.
So we put our trust in you to know that you know what's going on.
That's correct.
Amy, you can get the packet that we have. The packet that I'm looking at right now is online. And so you can see everything that every person
Yeah.
has up here. It is online.
Okay, that's all that they see. They don't
There's
see
nothing else I
anything
have.
more.
No.
Oh,
No,
Okay,
you're
thank
free to look at that.
thank you.
Thanks, Amy, appreciate it. Okay, anybody else from the audience here in the chamber would like to address the council on item 6E? Okay, hearing none, anybody online that would like to address the council, please hit *6 to unmute yourself. Okay, hearing no one, I will declare the public hearing closed. We've got a resolution again for the approval of the agreement. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Renee, you vote to get, there we go. Five yes.
Okay, item 6E is approved. Moving on to item 6F. This is the time and place for a public hearing to consider the agreement for private development initiated by Jordan Creek Associates LLC. Ryan, would you please read the date that the notice was published?
January 7th, 2022, in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, now's the time for anybody in the audience who'd like to address the council on item 6F. Please step up to the podium. You know the routine. Give us your name and address.
I have another question. May I ask?
Come on up, Amy.
Oh, my goodness.
We're here for you.
Thank you. Okay, so basically what I'm learning now is that Clyde Evans' department has all that information, and he's the one that knows everything about all the constructing that's going on, and Lynn Tweed over there. And if
You are giving Clyde a lot of credit here. He's definitely all-knowing.
well, he's a
but
director.
he's a smart guy.
He's a
but-
director, so he knows what's going on.
Yep, he does.
So anything that would be kind of considered being sneaky, where the public doesn't really know about it, he does. And so if people ask him, he should be able to tell us or not.
Well, none of our staff is sneaky. I mean, we pride ourselves on customer relations
I guess you
and
didn't hear me
treating the
earlier.
public with dignity and respect and honesty. So, but Clyde certainly is aware of a lot of things going on around here. He's been here a long time. Same with Lynn. Both are great members of our staff, so.
I would like to know more about the high-quality jobs program that he heads up to at some point.
Well, that's something that you've got to talk to Debbie Durham about, but I'm sure she'd be happy to meet with you, so.
Do you want me to come back up?
Sure.
Actually, it would, since you said that, he does do part of the qualifying. So,
Right, but that's a
you
state
know,
program.
and he's not auditing what he is qualifying.
Sure.
And I've already talked to.
Russ, this does not have anything to do with this item, so I'm going to ask that she sits down.
All right, I'm
Okay,
sitting.
okay. Thank you, Amy. Anybody else in the council chamber before I go online? Okay, seeing nobody else in the council chamber, is anybody online that would like to address the city council on item 6F? Please unmute yourself by hitting *6. Give us your name and address. Going once? Going twice? Okay, I'm going to declare the public hearing closed. We've got a resolution for approval of the agreement. Can I get a motion to that effect? Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion at all? Okay, please vote.
Renee, I think your button may be having
It's
issues.
taking her on tonight, it's challenging her.
As hard as I can.
5 yes.
Okay, item 6G, our last item for public hearing. This is the time and place for a public hearing to consider Grand Avenue West Segment 3 sewer extension initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date that the notice was published?
January 7th, 2022 in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, now is the time for anybody in the audience, including Amy, that would like to address the city council on item 6G. Please step up to the podium and give us your name and
Hi,
address.
Amy Buer.
Good to see you
Okay,
again.
thank you. Okay, you brought up the storm, so, right?
Storm sewer
Yep.
extension.
Okay. Why isn't the taxes paying for that instead of that being added to all? Why isn't taxes paying for that instead of it added to everybody's bill? Because I don't even have city water, but I get a bill just for that. I have my own water well.
Yeah, I believe this is extension of the sanitary sewer, but
Yes.
I'm talking about what
you're talking about the storm sewer.
Yeah, the storm,
Stormwater
the
runoff.
water comes
That's
down.
not-
Yep, that's-
Pertaining to the.
Oh,
not
sorry.
pertain to this.
Okay,
That's
I'm
okay.
done.
Not a
Thanks.
problem. Not a problem. Okay, anybody else that would like to address the council on item 6G? Okay, seeing none. Anybody online that would like to address the council on item 6G, please unmute yourself. You know how to do that by now. Okay, hearing no one, I will declare this public hearing closed. We've got 2 resolutions and a motion which we can take together. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
5 yes.
Okay, we will move on to item 7, new business, 7A, Manchester Village Townhomes Plat 1, 9076 Linda's Lane, approve final plat to create 37 footprint lots for townhome development, 3 outlots and 1 street lot, Stan Bros Development LLC. And we've got a resolution to accept surety and approve and release the final plat. I will just note that this came through Development and Planning on October 18th, 2021 with unanimous recommendation. And there are no outstanding issues, but there is one condition of approval, and that is that no building permits will be issued for any structure on Outlot X before they get a final plat approved. With that, can I get a motion to approve the resolution?
So move.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
5 yes.
Okay, item 7B, South Branch Business Park, southwest corner of Southeast 42nd Street and former Southeast Army Post Road. Approve a preliminary plat to create one lot for general industrial development, one lot for future development, and one lot for site access. We have got a resolution to approve the preliminary plat. I'd also note that this came before Development and Planning on October 18th, 2021, again with unanimous recommendation. It was also before P&Z on January 10th, 2022, where it was voted 5-0, and there are no outstanding issues.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
This very same area came before our committee this morning, and it sounds like everything's moving ahead just fine.
Great, thank you, Matt. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
5 yes.
Okay, item 7C, Microsoft DSM 40, 11100 Boonville Road, approved major modification to site plan for revised site logistics plan, Microsoft Corporation. We have got a resolution to approve major modification of the site plan. And again, this came through Development and Planning on October 18th with both council people recommending passage, and P&Z approved this item 5-0 on January 10th, and there are no outstanding issues.
Move for approval of the resolution.
Okay, is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Amy, this is not an item where, well,
It's new
can we do business? Come on up, Amy, give us your name and address for the record, even though we know where you live.
Amy Buer, yeah, that's more danger for me because I live real close by and all that EMF radiation coming
Gotcha.
from Microsoft, and then West Des Moines now is a
Amy, if you could,
target for terrorism
Amy, if you could keep
now
your
because
comments.
of Microsoft. So thanks, Clyde.
Amy,
Okay.
Amy, you got to keep your comments to the item next time you come up, and again, please keep it civil. Treat people with dignity and respect. That's the rules in this chamber. So, anyway, thanks for your comments, Amy. Anybody else like to comment before we move on? Okay. All right, did we get a motion, a second? Okay, any other discussion at all? Okay, please vote.
5 yes.
Okay, item 8, receive, file, and/or refer. We don't have any items. Item 9, are there any other matters that any council person would like to raise?
Mayor, I just want to say, obviously, several agenda items today, on the surface, and the discussion that we've got at the dais is pretty procedural, right? You don't get into, the end result of what's going to happen when you're going through the process. But I'll say that, when I look at several of the items that were on the agenda tonight, and many of which have been considered in the register and the business record over the last week or two, we got incredible activity happening in our community. When you look at the Jordan Creek project at the corner of Ashworth and Jordan Creek, and what's happening there in Ward 2, that's going to be an absolutely incredible development. Same thing with the Jordan Creek Tower, the activities that are planned there and the way that that's going to roll out. We don't have anything like that in our community. And the same thing for Ginger East and Ginger West and Microsoft's facilities. All of these developments, they provide the sort of tax base for our community to be able to do all of the incredible things that our residents enjoy. We're able to have the revenues to do things like the Recplex, to do things like the boathouse, to have the 26.2 marathon loop. And so this sort of economic development, all of this investment that, when we go through the process here and it seems a little, it's procedural and it's dry, at the end of the day, the projects we approved tonight and the things that we discussed and went through are going to change this community and provide so many wonderful benefits for years to come. And I'm really excited about what's here. So I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
Great point. If Mayor Gare was here, we talk about the stellar year that we had last year with $1 billion building permits. And, Clyde was in the paper talking about the fact that he thinks that we're on pace to maybe even beat that record. And I hope he's right. We've got a lot of great momentum, a lot of great things going in our community. And one item that you didn't mention that we're able to do when we're expanding the tax base is actually reduce taxes, reduce property taxes. And so I know that's an important item to people to make sure that West Des Moines stays an affordable place to live for not only young families, but seniors who are on fixed income. So you make a great point. I am just honored to be this city's mayor and excited to work with you guys as we move forward and have many more economic development projects in the future. So thank you for those comments, Matt. I appreciate it. Anybody else that would like to raise anything under other matters before we adjourn? Okay. All right. With that, we are adjourned.